Anybody got it? It's
Serena
Roger.
Williams.
Venus Williams.
It's actually
Roger
Roger Federer. Oh, I got to have the answer right. Got to have a capital F in there. Uh-oh, my color didn't appear. Oh, I'm so sorry. I changed the questions around and I didn't. Sorry about
good troubleshooting.
I changed the questions around because I didn't want it to be about 2 people that died in the first 2 questions. So I moved the questions. I forgot to move the answers. All right. On which social media platform did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announce they were stepping down as senior royals? Anybody know where they announced that?
Twitter?
It actually was not Twitter.
Facebook?
Nope. No.
Instagram? There's all the ones that
well, right. Just kind of guess what ones we have here. It was Instagram.
A lot of us are really bad at trivia. You're all with us.
All right.
That was the next one.
Which basketball star died in a helicopter crash in 2020?
Oh, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
He's super local to us right here.
Is he?
California. I live in LA, grew up a Lakers fan. Super sad.
So this is something I did not know the actual date until I looked it up. But on what date did the World Health Organization declare the coronavirus an actual pandemic? You're close. March 15th is close, but not quite. Getting closer. You're getting closer.
March 13th was like that Black Friday for all of us, right? That's like when everything started.
Yes. Yes, but it was actually declared on March 11th. Okay, so now you see when I entered the last answer, the color is complete. You've got the whole thing there. So that's the basic premise. And we'll come back to later, but I have a list of some coloring sites on this slide as well. So I'll share this with everyone. And I will turn it back to Orlina to get us started.
Okay, awesome. So in order for us to start working together, I am going to have to share my, I'm not going to be able to monitor Facebook anymore, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to share my screen in a little bit and show you where to go get the exact template that we're all going to be working on. So just to be completely clear, I will show you how to play around with the formulas. However, unless you are really good when it comes to using sheets, it is going to be a lot more complicated than pixel activities. But with that said, I'm going to show you how to take this template and then you can change it just every time into something that you like. So 10 questions. If you don't know me already from previous webinars or just from posting, I teach high school math. So to me, 10 questions is always enough practice. I don't use these as like long assignments. It's mostly just for students to get some practice. So usually 10 questions is enough. Let me share enough talking when it comes to that. And I'll walk you guys through it little by little. So you should have 10 questions that you want to use. So at least 10 questions so you can turn this into an activity for yourself, okay? So I am, Julianne, actually, I'm already recording it right now for the live. So I don't think it's allowing me to do that. Okay, so in the chat right now, I'm posting this link. If one of you can post it on Facebook so everyone also has access to it. And then I'm going to share what that looks like.
Okay, I'll copy it there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, if you're familiar with the work that I put on our website, this is where I keep all of my links. So again, I teach high school math. So if you teach high school math like me, this is a really good resource for you to save because I put all of my activities in here. But for the purpose of ours, you just have to click on the little heart right here. So this is exactly what it's going to look like for you. And it says color by number template. So you just want to click on that. It's going to ask you if you want to make a copy. So just click make a copy. And we'll all be working on this same copy. Don't worry about making additional copies or anything like that. We'll be working on this one together. And then because that link, I'm going to keep it up there forever. You can come back and make additional copies anytime that you want one so you don't clutter your drive, okay? So this is what it looks like. And just like how Debbie was showing you, as students put in their answers, the picture is going to either be colored. So I'm going to take all the answers out. You guys can see how it starts. Okay, so it's a blank sheet as students put in their answers. Then it begins to color itself. They do have to answer these in order, because if not, we would have a million different formulas, right? If you are a math person and you did 10 choose a certain number, we would have a huge amount of possibilities. So of pictures we would have to create. Debbie will show you later where you can get pictures. So when we're done with this, you'll have sort of like a library of places to go look at to create additional pictures in the future. Okay. So how do we edit? How do we make it our own? Let me explain a little bit of what the formula looks like too. So when you click on the picture itself, this is just one giant picture. The formula is in there. So, right, one complicated formula. Again, I don't expect you guys to learn how to make these out of the blue. We can definitely have like more advanced webinars in the future. This one is just how to take this one, edit it, make it your own. But this is an if and then formula. That's what they're called. So basically what it's telling Sheets to do is if all 10 questions are true, this is what it's saying, then go grab a picture. If not, then check to see if the first 9 are true. If the first 9 are correct, then go grab a different picture. If that's not true, go check the 8. If that's not true, go check 7. If that's not true. So when they're going in order, this formula is working the entire time, checking to see which one of those is true, and then presenting the picture based on which one is true. Okay, so again, a little bit more complicated. If you are really good with Sheets though, or if you are a little bit familiar when it comes to formulas, you can come and take a look at this formula and it will make sense, right? So it's all in order. So later on, we'll have different webinars, or I'll make a YouTube video with how to add problems or how to take some out. Okay, but again, that's not for today. Today, we're just going to focus on changing these questions. And I have made it pretty easy for us to change the questions around. Your questions should be typed in here in the purple box. So my activity, I'm going to make it about the empirical rule. That's what we're covering this week in Algebra 2. So I'm going to first change the title so then I don't get this confused later. So the empirical rule, color by numbers. So you should change it to whatever you're going to make your activity. And same here. Using the empirical. Oh, I have more people in the waiting room. There we go. Okay, and then you can type your instructions under the directions. And if you want to include a learning target, you can. If you don't want to include a learning target, you could just delete that, right? But I just kind of left little pieces where you can fill it in to make it your own. Same with the color scheme, right? If you want to change the color scheme later, you can. That's all completely editable, and it works the same as you would any of the pixel activities. You just have to use the coloring tool. Okay, so we're going to go over to sheet number 2. This is where the magic happens, and we will hide this later from the students. On the L column right here is where I have all of those different pictures. They're nice and tiny because I don't care what they look like. What I care is what they look like on the main page. But if you were to make this really big, these really big, you can see what the picture looks like. So, and I did go in order, so it's easy to edit. The first one is the blank one. So every time you'll need 11 total pictures. The blank one, the next one's the one with 1, the next one's 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Maybe I'm going to put that in here. I'm just going to put this on the side. You don't have to, but then that way we know what they are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we know what pictures those go with. And again, I'm in that second sheet now. And here on the side, so on the P and Q column, these are our problem numbers. We're not going to touch that. That's just so that we know where they're at. And right here on the side is where you're going to type in whatever you want your answer to be. Okay, so my first question that I'm going to put on my worksheet is how much percentage of data is between one standard deviation away from the mean. So that's my first question, and that first answer would be 65%. So I'm just going to put 65% here. That's what I want my first answer to be. I want my first answer to be 65%. If they skip the very last one, it will only go up to 9. Right? So they're going in order. If they skip the last question, they'll only be able to see up to 9 of them colored in.
If they skip and do number 10 first, it will not give them the picture. They have to have all of the ones before that done correctly as well.
So that's what you meant by the question. Yeah, so it's an if, then, and. So all of them, because it's an and formula, it means all of them have to be correct. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's not an or, right? So they all have to be correct in order for that to work in. If you're using words, you do not need to put it in quotations. Just put the word in. The other thing that you can do though, right, because you also don't want to take it away from students to work at their own pace if they know how to do a question. You can always conditional format using our Pixel conditional formatting here to tell it to, I don't know, turn green if it's correct or turn red if it's incorrect. So if they're working out of order, they know that this isn't going to change until it's all correct, but it will, at least they'll know that question was right. So you can do that later, but we can talk about that afterwards. Okay, so again, I changed this to 65%. That's the answer that I want. If you want anything, you can type in anything. If you want a word, if you want a sentence, whatever you want, change that first answer to that. So now I want you to see when I go back here, if I put in 1, it's not going to change it because it doesn't want 1 anymore. It wants 65% now. So now I changed it. Okay, and then you can type in your answer in here later. Yes, so if the kids answer out of order, but then get all of them correct, once they have, so let's say they're answering 1 and then 3 and then 2, 3, 4, then the first picture they'll see will be the 5th one. The answers are not case sensitive. Okay, so now let's say number 2 for me would be 30. I actually want this to be 68%. I don't even remember my own rule. 68%, and this one would be 34%. So I'm going to change this now. It should have disappeared because it's not 65, it's 68. And then I want my next one to be 34%. And there it is. Right? So super simple to edit. You just have to go here and change those answers. And then when you go in here, you change the question. So my question on this one is, how much percentage of data is between one standard deviation from the mean? Okay, so notice how you can't see the whole thing in here. You can change this so that it wraps the text so that I can see it all in that one box by going into this key here that says text wrapping. And you want to use that little arrow and it says wrap underneath. So I'm going to click on that. And now my text is wrapped so they can see the whole question. And then I'm going to center it. So this vertical alignment, it's the little arrow with the line at the bottom. I'm going to change it to the center just so that it looks nicer. Can they be? You can definitely make them be. It's just you would have to mess around with the formula. So that would be a little bit harder. The other thing that you can do is, I guess you could do a drop down, but that would kind of allow kids to guess around. A division symbol. We can try Let's see. Like you want your answer to be a division symbol?
No, I think she just means in the question, she wants to know how you can make it look like a division problem.
Oh, okay. So if you want, this is a trick, I guess, kind of like a trick. So to get all of those, and I will do this for mine because I need a mu, so a Greek letter mu and a Greek letter sigma. So if you go to Docs, I just use Google Docs. Just open a blank. This is my pacing guide. If anybody cares to know, why did it open that one? I don't know. So on any blank Google document, you can go to Insert, Special Characters. So for example, if you want a division sign, you can just click division, and here it is. If you wanted that one. Or I need a Greek letter mu. So again, that was, I'm just going to insert special characters. I need mu. Where is it? A nice one, this one. This is a Greek letter. So then you just go, you highlight it, Command copy to copy it. Now I'm going to go back here. And I'm just going to paste that into the question. You can definitely, the other thing that you can do, which I do all the time just to make my things pretty, it also does Bitmojis. So I am not Bitmojis, emojis. So if you wanted to use an emoji, you can do that too. Like if you Google happy face or anything like that, those symbols are in there.
Someone's asking if you can type equations directly into sheets, and I believe you know that answer.
Okay, so as a high school teacher, there is an extension called Equatio that will let you do that. I personally don't like it. So instead, I use PowerPoint. So I have to change my sharing on that one, but let me show you. These are all good questions. You should be editing right now at this time. So try to edit your worksheet so that if any more questions come up, we can answer them. So again, try to add those questions in here. Format your pictures so that before we're done, you have your worksheet done. And then after that, after we've given you guys some time to work on your questions and answers, I'll show you how to change the picture into something else. I'll let Debbie show you where to find pictures, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to edit those pictures, okay, how to put them back in. The template for this worksheet, again, the link should be in the chat. Oh, some of you came after. Let me paste that in here again. It's just pasting my mu. I doubt you guys want mu. It's not letting me paste. Hold on. Okay, so when you click on that link that's in the chat now, it's this one that says color by numbers template. So you just click on that. All right, let me change my sharing to PowerPoint so I can show you how I make them. So this is PowerPoint. I like PowerPoint because PowerPoint lets you save as, I think it changed my sharing again. PowerPoint lets you save it as a picture, and then that's what I insert. So I would go to equation, so insert an equation, insert, sorry, I have so many things open, equation. And then, I don't know, let's say we wanted f of x is equal to, I don't know, I'm trying to do something complicated, minus 2. I love their equation editor, by the way. I don't even know what I'm trying to do. Just some problem that we would work with. Minus 4, something like that. So this is the equation, right? Looks nice and neat as students' textbook would. My advice is if you're using this, if you're using PowerPoint, that you make this really big. So make the text really big. So then when it shrinks it down on Google Sheets, it still looks crisp. So if you just copy it the way that it is, sometimes it changes and then it looks a little funky. So I just make it really big. I'm going to right click, and then I want to save it as a picture. I'm just going to change this to formula. Save it on my desktop so that then it's easy to find. And then I'm going to go back to my Google Sheet. And then while I'm on that field, on that question field, I would go to Insert, Image, Image in Cell. So then that was Insert, Image, Image in Cell. And I'm just going to look for that picture. Desktop. I have so many things on my desktop from playing around. Formula. And there it is. The nice thing about using PowerPoint is that it creates a PNG, which means that there's no background on it. So whatever background color you have, see how it's nice and neat? It's not a white background on it, which is sometimes what Equatio does. So it makes it look really ugly. But this way now it looks neat and you have your equation in there. The other thing is that students can't edit it. The only thing they would be able to do would be erase this. So they can't go back and change it. This is, if you've seen any of my worksheets, that's 100% how I do my equations for all of it. It's super simple. I mean, it does obviously for high school teachers, when you're doing high school math on it, it is a little bit more time consuming because we have to create those using different software. I hope that was helpful.
You can change the format of the answer cells too. Somebody asked if you could wrap text in there. Absolutely. You can change the font size. You could change the font color, the font, and make it wrap. So, and someone asked again, where is the wrap button? Could you show them that? Just
yes. Okay. So the wrap button for this one, it's here on the side. You want to go to this button here. Now it says wrapping. So let me just, on this one, I am going to type a really long sentence to show you how to wrap. So it's all not wrapped. So you want to go here. It'll look like this one here. This one's a vertical alignment. This one right here says text wrapping on it. So it's a vertical line with an arrow going this way. I'm going to click on that, and you want to use the one that's a little arrow that wraps around. And you click on that. There it is. And then after I do that, I do like to vertically align it. So the one right next to it, I want to vertically align it in the center so it looks neat. Awesome. So yeah, so PowerPoint is amazing when it comes to that, to equations and things like that. I often use it too if I wanted to do something like this, like a text box that I don't want them to edit. I mean, I don't know why you would, but you know, sometimes high school kids can try and be a little bit sneaky and change things around or type in something inappropriate, right? I mean, depending on where you work, you've seen that. So now it turn it into a picture and they can't type in it. The best they can do is delete whatever is in there. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys work for a little bit. I'm gonna switch it over. Again, you would just change all of these answers to anything that you want. And then as you're changing the answers, I would suggest that you do them one at a time, right? So then that way you can see, like, so see I did 68 and then 34, and then I checked them and they both work. So now let's say I did, I don't know, 98. That's not going to be the next answer. And then I go in here, but the real answer is 95. And then I'm like, okay, it's not working. Now you know which one to troubleshoot rather than like just having to look at all 10 of them and trying to figure out where you went wrong. So if you do one at a time, then now I see, oh, I wanted my answer to be 95. This needs to be 95. This one's not correct. So now I go back here and it worked. Can the question boxes be any larger? Yes, so you can. So I left an extra space here where you can, if you want, like, let's say I wanted it to go into this one, I can change it like this and then make it be larger. Then I would definitely go and merge the other ones. So this is the merge cell button. So again, I would click on that and then hit merge. If that's not big enough, if that's still not big enough, because this is in pixels, right? You can change these. See how nothing's happening to the picture at all. So you can definitely make these bigger. It's not going to warp the picture by any means because it's not pixel art, it's an actual picture. If you wanted the picture to take up more space, then you can update the alignment, the vertical here on the side. See, it makes it bigger. So you can start filling in the space. The good thing about Sheets is that it will automatically blend into whatever space you have and make it nice and neat. So you can make this as small or as big as you want.
Well, Helena, someone on the Facebook page said that they're working in the template and that it worked up until number 10. And so she wanted to know if that had happened to anyone else. Can you quickly go through and enter, 4 all the way through 10 just to see if the picture is working?
5, 6, 7, 8. Did 7? I didn't see 7 go. Oh yeah, there it is. 7, 8, 9. Oh, somebody else is in the weight room. 9. Oh, this is, so I didn't share the correct one. Well, this is going to be fun. I need to fix this. So originally when I made the account, but this is a good thing to show you guys. I just got to share the picture with everyone so you don't have to start from scratch. And then this is 10, but 10 should work. Okay, so mine works. The only one that doesn't work is 8 and 9. I want to show you guys what happened. So we actually discovered it yesterday when we were going through this to make sure everything worked. And I thought I fixed it. I'm going to fix the template first so that then anybody that downloads after this. So if you look at the picture here, you can see that under 8, I put the one that has 8 and 9 on it. Let me show you guys how to fix that because I don't want to just fix it myself. I'm going to go into, this is the dragon, picture 8. Okay, I'm going to share this with you guys. You should be able to download this picture. Let me put it on the chat. And then Debbie, if you can share it with Facebook so we can all fix it together. This is a great way to learn. Okay, so that's the picture number 8. I have it saved on my desktop because I had already done it, but you should be able to update it. I want number 8 to show only number 8, not 8 and 9, right? I accidentally posted the same picture here twice, which is why I wasn't working the first time. And once again, because I hadn't gone step at a time, I was going crazy as to why number 8 wasn't working. And it wasn't that it wasn't working. It just so happened to be the same picture. So I'm going to delete this one here. I'm going to delete the one here. What you want in number 8. So we're right next to number 8. You want to go to Insert, Image, Image and Cell, and then find that picture wherever you saved it. Hopefully you saved it somewhere where you can find it, the one that I posted in the chat. Hopefully I can find it where I saved it. This one was the dragon one. I hope you guys can't see right now all of my folders and see how crazy this looks. All right, but I found it. And now I have my dragon number 8. And hopefully now it works. I'm gonna delete this. That is the only thing you would have to do later to change it. So hopefully 8 works on its own now. Yay, it does. Let me go fix that template. So you guys can see it one more time. This is the template, the page that's linked over there. I'm also going to change this here so that the numbers are there too for future reference. And it was number 8 that we want to fix. So I just deleted it. You don't even have to delete it. It'll know that you are replacing it with something else. I'm just deleting it just so that I see the blank there. Insert, image, image in cell, and then you want to find that picture. So again, this is now you have this template with 10 questions. So in the future, if you have any worksheet that has 10 questions, all you have to do is just change that. So you would just change those pictures one by one, year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, by going to insert, image, image in cell. So I'll let, do we have any other questions, Debbie, right now?
I think a few people got confused, so I just want to step back. Somebody posted a capture PNG, and I don't think that is going to work very well.
Oh, no.
So what she had to do there was replace the image. So show them again how to insert an image.
Okay, so first you have to go download the link that I posted. Not the capture PNG. I'll post that link again. So I just posted the link. Is the number 10 picture supposed to be in the row below the answer for number 10? Oh, for these are, so P and Q are not connected to the pictures at all. It's 2 different steps. That's why I kept them completely away from each other. These are your pictures. So where you would edit your pictures, and your answers are all in here. So that problem, number, and answer, these go together. They're not in the same line as the pictures here. Okay, so I'm waiting a couple of seconds just so that everyone has the picture saved.
Someone asked, why is there a 0 picture? And that is just so that you can have a blank coloring page, and that's what would be open. You don't have to use that. You could just have a blank, and then when they type the first answer in, the picture would come up with 1 colored in. Either way, it doesn't have to be used.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of questions about where to find these images. So do you want me to do that now, and then we'll come back to you?
Let me finish this one.
Okay.
So that now that, and then I'll just show them one more time how to change this. So I hope everyone has that picture downloaded and saved somewhere. So again, use the chat. If you're watching this as a recording later, or if you already downloaded this, I already fixed the template, so you don't have to do this. It's fixed already. Okay, but for those of you that have been with us since the beginning and your template was off, you want to change number 8. So you would go to insert, sorry. You're going to go to insert. Yes, the video is going to be available later. Image. So insert, image, image in cell. Insert, image, image in cell. And then from here, you want to look for that picture that you just downloaded, which I saved mine on the desktop. I had it in a folder. And then once you hit open on that, it'll automatically change it. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to let Debbie take over and show you. Oh,
sorry, Georgelina, somebody asked, could you show how to hide sheet 2 so the students can't see?
Yes, we'll show that. Oh, should I do that now for those of you that are done before we move on? So mine looks funky now because we were changing stuff around. If you want, so what I do after, so once you're done, once you put in your 10 answers and your 10 questions, I would go over into sheet 2. I'm going to make this back tiny. Do I need to be this big? The first thing that I do is, so I hide multiple things at once so that everything's like hidden within a hidden picture. So I'm going to hide these 2 rows, the columns first. So I'm going to clicking on the K and then sliding over. So I chose both of those. Then I'm gonna right click. And here where it says hide columns K through L. When you do that, it hides those two. So now students can't see those in there if they happen to later find the sheet. The other thing that I do, instead of hiding these, because notice how when you hide, you get these little arrows here. So again, if you wanted to hide more, so you click on both of them, right click, hide. But it shows those little arrows, right? So student, if they know, then they're gonna go and they're gonna look. But here, what I do with the answers, I just, again, highlight, but instead of hiding the columns, I just change the text to white. So the text is in there, they just can't see it. Right, so the text is in there, but they can't see it at all. Or not, I can't even find it. There it is. So you can see the text in there, but they won't be able to see it. So unless they go clicking around, right? So it's just kind of like hiding things in there. So it's not as easy. If your students figure out how to do all this, you should probably still give them credit for being so resourceful that they're able to find this, right? So I try to just hide things inside of each other. Once that's done, to hide the whole, or if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. If you want to just hide the sheet, you can. You just right click on the sheet here. So I'm going to click where it says sheet 2, right click on it and go hide sheet. Now the sheet's hidden and they can't see it at all, and all your formatting is in there. If you need it again, if you need to go find it, you want to go to view and hidden sheets, sheet 2, it'll bring it back up. View. Okay, the other thing that I do is, see how they can see the formula here? The formula doesn't give them any answers. It's just kind of telling them where to go look. If, again, right, the odds of them being able to decipher this is pretty slim, but you also don't want them to mess with it so that it doesn't throw it off. So you can also go to view and uncheck the formula bar. So now the formula bar is gone and they can't see that either. Again, if you want it back, you can go to view and check the formula bar. Oh, not that. Oh no, where did it go? I clicked on something I wasn't supposed to. View, now I'm hiding it. View, formula bar, now I can see it again. So once you share this with your students, so when you erase the answers so that they have the blank copy to get started, if all of this is hidden, the copy that they get will have everything hidden on it. If you share a copy that has everything showing, they're going to see everything exactly as you share it. Okay, so yes, they will be, once they make a copy for themselves to be able to answer it, yes, they will be able to unhide. Yes, they'll be able to do all of that if they know how, right? Because they will become the owners of the copy that they make. But that's the best we have, right? So they will definitely be able to go and unhide everything. They just need to know how to do it.
I just shared the template again with everybody. Somebody was looking for it.
Okay.
It is on the front of Jorgelina's booklet there in the top left corner. So if you follow the link that I just posted, you'll find the link to this activity. And it is the correct link, so you don't have to go back and do the changes that we did in the middle of the video here. I want to take a minute to show you where you can find pictures like this. There are some really great websites that you can use. All right. Okay. Can you see the coloring websites? Does that come up for you? Okay, so
Yeah.
here's a list of links, and some of them are better than others. This one is my absolute favorite, so I wanted to just show you real quick. It is not necessarily a color by number, but there are tons of images here. Beautiful images, simple images, kind of everything in between. And as you color in something, you pick a color, you click on it, and it colors it in for you. At any point, you can click on picture up here and save the image as. It lets you give it a name. I would probably, go alien 1, and then after I do the next color, I label it alien 2. And so it keeps saving them all as a PNG file or a JPEG if you want. PNG is better always, so that you can have no background around your picture. So that's one of the really cool websites for the coloring pages, because it's so easy to let you save things. But there are a few others here, and some of them have the color by number if that is something that is more important, and sometimes it is because some people don't like to decide on colors. But at any rate, lots of different things. And if you just Google online coloring, you'll find more of them. Sometimes you need a subscription, but all of the ones that I have listed here are free ones. So I will post this little list of activities on the Facebook page. So what you would do is, after you get all of your pictures, you would want all 10 of them, and you want them together in one place so that you can find them real easily. And then she's going to show you how you would insert them in your spreadsheet.
Yeah, so again, she will share those with you where you can find additional ones. So what I did, well, really Debbie did, Debbie took another picture that she found and she colored it in. She saved as she was showing every step of the way. So you save the clear one if you want the clean one as your number 0. Then she colored one thing in. She saved that picture. Then she colored a second color. She saved that picture. She colored a third one. She saved that picture. So I have them all saved in one folder. That way I can easily find them. So I have a total of 11 pictures, my 0 picture, and then the 10 other ones. Before, so they're free to use for your classroom, right? You definitely don't want to share that and sell them or anything like that, right? So a lot of these are free to use, but you don't want to, right? You didn't create the artwork, so definitely don't share it for profit. Okay, so you do want to be careful with that. It's not something you want to go, unless you actually like commission the art, you don't want to go posting them on your Teachers Pay Teachers or anything like that. Okay, so I did have a question. There's one person that says that their number 9 and 10 are filling in at the same time. Is that happening to everyone? I feel like that's the second time we hear it. So it's not working. Let me go. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make another copy of that template, only because I do need it to show you guys how to now update that template. So remember, you're going to have access to this template indefinitely. I'm going to leave it up there. I'm going to test it. I feel like I had tested it before.
No, quite a few people are saying it's working for them.
Okay. So those of you who is not working for, I'll troubleshoot you guys separate. So after I show this, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay. But so again, I just made another copy. I went back to my activities link and I made another copy. So I just hit that. So again, don't clutter your Google Drive with copies of this. You can always have access. You can always come back and make a copy of a new template. I am going to leave it up there. Okay. So, I mean, you can also keep a clean copy that you're going to copy from. I'm just testing this real quick. Here's 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so it does work for me, all 10 of them. So the template works. This is a clean template. What I want to do is I want to change the picture. So again, going back to it, using one of those websites, or if you are super artistic, which I would be completely jealous to those of you that are, and you create them yourself, you just want to save a picture every time you change a color, so it works that way. And then, like Debbie said, save them in a way that you can easily go back and find them. So I'm going to change it into a different picture. And what I did is I saved each of them with their number scheme. So 0, 1, 2, 3, that way I can easily find them. So I'm going to go here in the pictures. This is the only thing you would have to edit. You just have to change the pictures to your new 11 pictures. Way easier than updating a pixel activity, right? Because it's already all linked there. So you want to go here to the 0 first. Go to Insert, Image, Image and Cell. And I'm going to go and I'm going to find my 0 picture. You can also drag and drop. It's way faster to drag and drop. However, I'm not going to drag and drop because you won't be able to see where I'm dragging from, and then it just looks like magic happened. So it is, we're going to change it into a windmill. So I'm going to go to 0, open. And now there's my picture of the windmill. I'm going to show what the 10th one looks like. So I'm going to change the 10th one next. Insert image, image in cells. And I'm going to find my windmill number 10, just so that you guys can see what the final picture looks like. I just changed that one. This is what we're changing it into. So pretty. But now, I mean, if I take this out, it's going to be the dragon again because I haven't changed that picture. So it went from dragon to windmill. Wow, that's some magic. Okay, so we want to change the rest of them. I'm going to change the first one. I already did 0. So now I'm going to go to 1. Insert, image, image in cell. I'm just going to keep doing this. The repetition helps my students. Hopefully it helps you guys too. Now 1 is done. Now I'm going to work on 2. Insert, image, image in cell. And I need 2. And now 3. Insert, image, image in cell. 4. Oh, I put 4 and 3. Why did I was counting in my head way too fast. 3. Okay, so really this is all you would need to do. I'm going to keep sort of working in here. I'm going to move it so that I can drag and drop because it'll be easier. Actually, I can't. It won't let me shrink this. Okay, so Debbie is already posting it on Facebook. And you can make these. Again, it is a little bit time consuming, but just think about how much faster you get on this especially if you've mastered the pixel art. This is just going to be so much easier after. It's just changing these becomes so much easier. I'm on number 7 now. Julianne just posted on the chat one of the sites. If my questions required Word, can we do that or only? No, you can definitely do words. So any content, you would just change your answers here to the words that you want. So I'll demonstrate that right now. Number 9 is done. Okay, so now I just finished this one. All my pictures are in, and I'm going to change this. Let's say we wanted our first word to be apple and our second word to be fish. I don't know. I don't teach elementary, so I don't know what you would use these two for, but just to demonstrate words. So it's not working because 1 and 2 aren't correct. So apple, now it worked. And then the next one would be fish. Oh, what happened?
All the rest of your answers are filled in.
Oh, duh. There we go. That's much better.
You have to remember this is one formula that affects the whole
questions.
picture. And so the one formula looks at every answer cell. And if 1 and 2 is correct, it'll give you only number 2. If all 10 of them are correct, it gives you the 10 picture. So anytime one of them is wrong, it goes backwards from there, and that's all you would see. So,
yeah. So then this one
giant formula.
4, that's not correct. So nothing, this one's correct, but nothing happened to the picture because 3 is missing. But once I put 3 and 4 are completed. That's why you want to encourage your students to do this in order. But again, if you want your students to work out of order and you let them know once it's done, the whole thing should be filled in, this is why I like the numbers being there too, right? They can see right now that they have 3 and 4 correct. So now let's say they have the answer to number 7. Well, they're correct up until 4. Let's say you want them to work out of order. This is extra, right? So at least now you know how to edit the template, and you also know how to change the pictures. Okay, so how to edit the template, and then how to change the picture if you wanted to make a new template with a picture that you created. So let's say you wanted to change the answers for your students to be marked incorrect or correct, then you can do a conditional formatting. So I can click on here, right? I'm going to go right click, conditional formatting. And here on the side, right? So I'm going to say if this, you can change it. There's a bunch of things here. If text is exactly apple, then I wanted to turn, I don't know, green. Done. So then you can tell your students, if your answer is correct, it's going to turn green. So let's say this one here, I'm going to right click, conditional formatting. If text is exactly 7, then I wanted to turn green. And then if it's not 7, like let's say it's 9, then it's going to stay that right color. So at least they know whether they're right or wrong. You can do that so they can work out of order and at least know whether their answer was correct or not. So it's just a little bit extra to add if you wanted to. I definitely didn't code it that way. So again, if you want to see it again, I'm on the answer sheet. I'm going to right click, conditional formatting. I'm going to change it to text is exactly 4. Then I want to change this to turn green. Done. And then if it's anything other than 4, then it wouldn't turn green. It'll stay whatever color it was. So you can do that if you want to allow your students to work out of order. If you don't want them to work out of order, then you definitely don't have to do that. You can just tell them the picture isn't going to change unless you go in order. So I hope at least that bit was useful if you care to use that part. Let's see what this picture looks like at the end. 5, 6, and 7 colored in at the same time because I was already there. 8, 9, and 10. Yay, it's so pretty. You can also change the color scheme on these, right? So if I, definitely that orange and purple doesn't go with this one. It went nicely with the dragon, but it doesn't go very nicely with this one. So I'm going to click on the picture and I'm going to change this background to blue. Maybe you can do a different blue if you wanted to. So whatever looks nice on yours, I'm going to change that to a different blue. Okay, so you can still edit all of that at the end to make it look pretty and make it match whatever picture you have. I don't know if I have any more questions. It's like that awkward silence now.
Georgina, some want pictures of the dragons. Some want the one we've just posted. Well, Debbie's just posted up a link for the number 8. Somebody else is asking for a 7. Could we share the whole lot on Facebook maybe at some point?
Yes. Yes, I'll put all the pictures up in the link with it. Sure.
Yeah.
Anyone else have questions?
Make sure that if you're replacing the pictures that you're doing them in order, right? So if it's not working anymore, unless you've messed with the formula, right? So like unless you've physically gone in here by clicking on this picture and changed the formula around, everything should work the same. So hopefully you didn't change the pictures around, but do the numbers appear on the picture? If you make it, so the picture is whatever you make it, right? The ones that we used have numbers on them, but you definitely don't have to have numbers on them. Show the conditional formatting one more time. Yes. Can you create a color by number image, then use it in this format? Yeah, if you're whatever picture you're creating, just save it in the sequence of 10, right? Or 11 if you're doing a blank one, and then you would just put them in here and it'll automatically work.
I just say if it isn't a colour by number where it's got the numbers, it gets a bit confusing. But if it's just a picture, then you could have 2 or 3 colours showing, like colour in 2 or 3 colours, and take a screenshot or PNG and do it that way. It doesn't have to be one colour, apart from if it's a colour by number, because obviously that's code, that's 1, 2, 3. But, for example, if you've got quite a complicated picture that you've coloured in with lots of colours, you could take the PNG of the blank one and colour, say 5 colours, take one of that, and you can do it that way.
Okay, so yes, but sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Remember that this part of the formatting, this is where your answers are. This does not match this. Don't look at them they're two completely different things. So this is your answers. This portion of the sheet is your answers. That's it. That has nothing to do with your picture. This is the only thing that has to do with your picture. Again, this doesn't match this on purpose because this is your answers. And that's why I put it away aside from it, way back over there, so that here is the only place that you have to edit for your picture. And these match 0 to 0, 1 to 1, 2 to 2. This is where your pictures go. Your answers, there's no 0 for your answers because there's no question 0. Your question 1 goes with the answer to number 1. Your question 2 goes with the answer to question 2. Again, this is just your answers. No, I did not choose columns L and P for a reason. I don't like to do it at the beginning. Like I personally don't like to put them up here because again, I teach high school. So how easy would it be for them if they found the sheet to just go to the very first field? So I put it somewhere in the middle. Usually when I make my puzzles, I would put it way down here at the bottom. If I were to do this from scratch, I would put it way somewhere that it's not as easy to find. But I put it somewhere where I can easily show you guys where it is, but I definitely don't want it in the corner in the first one, or I wouldn't use that template again, ever. Because for my students, it would be way too easy for them to find it.
By the way, in terms of finding the pictures again, to remake the dragon picture, if you go back to Jorgelina's notebook and download that link again, it now has all of the correct pictures in it. So all of the pictures are in there for you. I will still post them, but I just want you to know you can always go back to find them there.
There's a few questions about, can you put more answers in? For this particular one, if you were to put more answers in, you would have to go into the formula. But we will be posting up some that we have created, which have different number of questions. So you can format them in exactly the same way that Georgelina's shown you how to do this.
Yes. So I'll do a different video later. Again, unless you are proficient with sheets, adding more questions, I'm going to be 100% honest, it does take a while to kind of get the hang of it because so much can go wrong with the formula. So I would practice with 10 for now. And then once you're ready for that, I'll definitely either have another webinar in the future or create a YouTube video. But again, that's going to be like more of an advanced skill than something that you can just easily edit. Diane, you won't be able to see the chat after. You can see the chat on the Facebook stream, but not this one. But all of the links are going to be on the Facebook. They're going to be on the Facebook Live and also on the YouTube video. Okay, let me show one more time the conditional formatting. Somebody wanted to see that. So if you wanted to change the answers to correct or incorrect, I'm going to do number 9 next. So you click on whatever answer you want to edit. So to make it red or green or whatever you want, I'm going to right click, conditional formatting. And then over on the conditional formatting sign, you want to change this where it says format cells if. You want to change that to text is exactly. And what do we want it to be? Exactly 9. And then I'm going to change it one more time to green. You can change it to whatever color you want, whatever you're going to tell your students that it is. Okay, so right click, conditional formatting, text is exactly, and then you just hit done and that's it, it's done.
I wanted to bring up something someone mentioned that they'd be doing a bunch of these this week. This would be a really easy activity if you can train your kids to use a coloring website where they could color them in and save the picture each time and then give you the 10 pictures and then you put them in an activity. It's a little different than the pixel art because there's not an element of surprise. The picture is there. They're watching it being colored in. But if you had them make the pictures, they would probably be really excited to do whatever activity, the math or grammar or whatever you have to go with it. So just an idea.
I am so glad the comments are making me super happy. I'm so glad that you found this useful and easy to edit and change. So that was the whole purpose. Again, it wasn't so easy to create from scratch, but it's definitely now made simple for you to change it over and over and over again. And for the students, it'll feel like a completely new activity each time. But for you, hopefully it's super easy that you can just edit it and then use it over and over again.
All right, do we have any questions? I think we're gonna finish up here soon. So if you have any, put them in the chat real quick before we turn off the cameras.
I just think, yes, we have recorded it and it will be going on our Facebook, in our YouTube channel. We'll put it up later on, so it's always there, so you can have a look through. If there's something you missed or something that you just want clarification on, you can go through and fast forward to the bit that you need some more help on.
Yeah, so I am going to, actually, we should do that too. I'm going to post a link to the YouTube channel, which would be awesome if you guys give us a follow. We're trying to just kind of grow the channel in general because we do post quite a bit in there. Let me open it up. And I'm just going to post it in there. If you want to subscribe, please do so. It is going to go up there. Those of you that receive this email, obviously, because you're here on Zoom, I'll send a link with the video. That'll be your third email, hopefully by tomorrow, because it might take a little while for it to upload. My plan was to record individually, but I got carried away and I didn't do that. So I'll also make a short video of me editing one of them. So if you don't want to watch the entire webinar again, you'll also have little bits of it later. Okay. So thank you
Yeah,
to
and
those of
if
you
you
that are already subscribed.
Yeah, if you subscribe, you'll get, you won't miss anything when Georgelina puts it up or anything like that. And it also means that our channel doesn't get lost on the internet. So that'd be grand. Thank you.
Yesenia, I saw your comment about doing something in Spanish. Do you mean like doing a training in Spanish? I do. So my sister teaches high school Spanish, so I do quite a few activities for her, and then I post them on that link too. So I just create them for her classroom or for other Spanish teachers. But if you wanted to do a training in Spanish, yeah, send me a message and we can talk about it. I'm happy to do that. Let me post I'll post my notebook in the, so you can't make a copy of my notebook only because I do edit it, but what you can do is you can save it. So you can save it on your link so you can access it later. But if you make a copy, you won't get any of the new ones that I post. So it's kind of like a link tree, but I try to make it more of like a visual one. So it's in there. I just posted that link again in the chat.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think we're going to close down now. It's been an hour and we appreciate your time and hope everybody has a great rest of your day, rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. All right. Can you turn off the live on Facebook now?
Oh, yeah. It's like, they're probably like, hello.
And you
I
want
think
to stop the
did.
recording too?